Hey guys, my name is Like a Crystal, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new here, then welcome back. Today, I want to share with you guys how the Swiss people celebrate Christmas traditions. Before I start, I want to say a little disclaimer. Not all Swiss people celebrate Christmas with the same traditions, especially if they're not in the same religion or if they're not from the same region. Like, for example, I'm from the German area of Switzerland, so we celebrate it this way. And if you're from the French area of Switzerland, you celebrate it a different way, and in Italy, and so on. So the first tradition is called Advent calendar. If you're from Europe, then you already know about this because it's kind of like a European thing. But if you're like me, growing up in Philippines and in America, there's a huge chance that you've never really celebrated Christmas this way. So I will explain to you guys now what Advent calendar is. Advent calendar is basically a special calendar where you have 24 small pouches. Each pouch has a tiny gift inside, and it's 24 pouches to count down the days until Christmas. Most people have these reusable bags where you can put things inside, like choose what you want inside the pouch. And if you don't want to make one on your own because you want to be surprised, you can just go to stores everywhere in Switzerland. They sell it pretty much like in grocery stores or in retail stores or wherever. The next tradition is called Samichlaus. In Switzerland, on December 6th, a man named Samichlaus, who is pretty much dressed like Santa Claus, comes over to your house and brings his friend Schmutzli. After every kid sings a song or recites a Christmas poem, Samichlaus will then ask the kid if they've behaved. And if they did, they usually get this pouch which is filled with peanuts, oranges, and chocolates. And if they didn't behave, Samichlaus's friend Schmutzli will put you in his bag that he carries and he will take you with him. I actually asked Cyril where the kid goes when they do take him, if he knows the story, and he says that he doesn't know because they never come back. And then oftentimes Samichlaus also tells you details about how you behaved this year, like you did your homework well or something like that. And as a kid, you kind of believe in his powers because he knows the specific details that you did. But the truth is, Samichlaus actually gets ordered by the parents to come over, and that's why they know those specific details. The next tradition is going to Christmas markets. I've actually made a couple of videos about Christmas markets in the previous years. This year, I'm not really that comfortable going to Christmas markets because of the pandemic. But if you've stumbled onto this video in the future, then I recommend that you go to Christmas markets. The market is a way for locals to sell their products and for the other locals to buy the products and give them as gifts for Christmas. And while you're walking around the market, you can eat Swiss food as well. And if you're from a bigger town, you can actually see like a huge variety of food, like not just Swiss food. And after you're eating, you can also drink Glühwein, which is my favorite. Glühwein is the next tradition that I want to share with you guys. Glühwein is basically a mulled wine. You can use red wine or white wine, and they usually contain orange, cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, or anise or cloves. It's really good. Like, you should really try it. It's so good. Another tradition that Swiss people celebrate is baking cookies together. So these are the cookies that we got from other people. They're pre-made ones, but it is a pretty standard tradition for them to bake cookies on their own and send them to their loved ones. The next tradition is kind of funny, I guess. Earlier, I mentioned that Samichlaus is the guy who brings gifts on the 6th. And if he brings the gifts then, you're probably wondering who gives the gifts on Christmas. In Switzerland, they believe that it's the Christkind, the child version of Christ, that brings all the gifts to everyone. And the reason why I think it's funny is because if I grew up here in Switzerland and someone tells me that it's the child version of Christ that brings the gifts, I kind of would have a hard time believing that, I guess, because, it's another kid. And the last tradition is Christmas dinner. This isn't always the case, but it happens a lot. Like, based on my experience, we usually have 2 Christmas dinners. The first one is on Christmas Eve and the next one is on Christmas Day. The reason why there's 2 Christmas dinners is because on the 24th, that's when we have dinner with the direct family, which is with your brothers and sisters and parents. And for the 25th, that's when you have dinners with your cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever family members you can think of. That's usually when you do it, which is on the Christmas Day. The popular choices that Swiss people eat during Christmas dinners are fondue chinoise. This is what it looks like. I can't really fully describe it. It's like the hot pot, but it's not. It's a little different, but I don't know the specifics of why it is different. But yeah, that's like a popular Christmas dinner. The next one is Schufeli and sauerkraut, which is basically ham and sauerkraut. The next one is Weihnachtsgans, which is basically goose that is stuffed with things in it, like the ones that Americans have during Thanksgiving, but it's goose and not turkey. And the last one that I'll talk about is filet im Teig. This meal is actually the meal that we will be eating on Christmas Eve. So it's steak wrapped in puff pastry and it has a sauce in it. It will be my first time trying it. So if you guys want to hear my feedback on it, you can follow me on Instagram. And that is all for today. I will be uploading again on the 1st of January. I know it's a Christmas miracle I'm uploading this frequent, but my goal for 2021 is to upload more so you guys will be seeing more of me. And I hope you guys have a very merry, holly jolly Christmas and enjoy your holidays, and I'll see you guys in a few days. Bye!